Another restricted call. What is it that makes Shannon Alvarado such a horrible person? Same thing that made Natalie Bollinger such a horrible person. She didn't care who hurt me, as long as she could hide her addictions. She had all sorts of pretty things to say, but in the end never kept her word. Every single one of you who watches this, I want you to ask yourself something and see if you know the answer. Oh, another restricted call. When a crime is committed, when are you supposed to turn it in? Right away. If Shannon Alvarado's daughter was abused, when would she turn it into the police? You would hope as a human being that she would want to turn it in right away. You would hope as a parent she would want to turn it in right away. You would hope that instead of changing the subject and making it about her friend Marnie, or stories about her ex, or excuses over and over again, you would think she would do the common sense thing and call it in immediately. Shannon Alvarado is not mentally fucking retarded, and neither are any of the rest of you watching this channel. The longer it takes to turn it in, the more likely it is that the predator is going to get away. Disabled people, men, and the homeless are the highest risk for abuse in this entire goddamn country. Those are the top 3 spots. Now you notice how it's just harassment call after harassment call after harassment call. I sent Shannon Alvarado about 10 messages in a row yesterday. She didn't see any of them. She didn't see any of them yesterday, but today she's already sent 3 messages at me. See, I only made those messages so that she would understand to knock that shit off. The idea here being, I've asked you to stop, and asked you to stop, and asked you to stop, and told you to stop, and told you to stop, and told you to stop. But you believe as a woman that stalking a person is okay, apparently. I don't see men doing this shit. I see women doing this shit. I hear men being blamed for it, but I don't see men actually doing those things. Not that I can't imagine it, but I literally see and hear women doing these things. If Shannon's son came to her today and said, I'm being abused, no matter what type of abuse it is, you would hope that Shannon Alvarado would find out what happened by listening to her son and then making the phone call to the police and actually being there for her son's safety. See, here's one thing about the police. When it comes to kids, there's a lot of things they're not allowed to do without the parents present. But as a disabled and homeless adult, male, yeah, we are supposed to have those protections, but we don't. Not without a friend or family member to act as our goddamn parent like we're a fucking 5-year-old, because the term mentally ill means that we're too fucking retarded to know what's going on to the courts and to the police. And it all starts off with having to turn this into the cops. When did Shannon Alvarado ever in all this time ever make a single call with me to turn this shit in with Kara Johnson Miles? In between when Shannon Alvarado showed me the stuff with Kara Johnson Miles, and when Kara Johnson Miles got to slander me in court, how much time was there between there? May of 2018, on the same day as Joseph Michael's court date, restricted call after restricted call after restricted call. Gotta love it, don't you? Maybe Shannon Alvarado will watch this. Maybe she'll count how many restricted calls I fucking got. Maybe she'll stop being a selfish fucking alcoholic cunt. But I doubt it. What I needed was for someone to call the fucking cops with me, so that I could safely make a fucking police report. I've explained that to every goddamn one of these pieces of shit. Meanwhile, all of them know it. Shannon has tits. She has a fucking vagina. She has been taught and trained since birth, just like every other woman in America, how to turn shit into the cops. She's also been taught since birth, just like every other female in America, how to play victim, how to manipulate the system, how to manipulate public bias. I've been called mentally ill. When you say, what help do I need? I'll tell you. The help that I need is the same exact help that a child needs when they are abused. Except the cops aren't going to listen to me the way they would listen to a child. My parents are not going to listen to me the way they would listen to a child. But they are going to treat me like I am a retarded child. The moment they hear the words, bad cops, come out of my mouth, the moment that happens, every goddamn person on the planet plays fucking stupid. Every person plays like they don't know what to do. Now, how many restricted calls have I gotten so far? Who's been counting? What I needed from Shannon Alvarado in 2018 was for her to help me by calling these agencies with me, by taking screenshots of the evidence that I couldn't, to show the harm and slander that I am having to endure. I didn't need Shannon Alvarado to verify every goddamn piece of evidence. I didn't need any of these people to verify every piece of fucking evidence. What I needed is a person to help me get the process started so that I'm not blown off like I'm a retarded kid. If a friend or family member tries to turn it in, take a look at Clearview Behavioral Health. A friend or family member helped turn multiple situations in because nobody was listening to the patients. One of them they couldn't because he was fucking dead. Killed by the same method that was used against me. The injection of drugs. Drugs that induce schizophrenia temporarily in 70% of the cases. Long-term schizophrenia symptoms in 30% of the people injected. And then 8% of those injected, that's almost 1 in 10. That's a pretty significant fucking number. They become permanently schizophrenic. You cannot inject someone with drugs that have those side effects and then pretend that the person is the side effects of those drugs. You do not get to inject people with drugs at the request of police officers who we're trying to turn in. That's right. I was trying to turn in bad cops. And repeatedly they utilized hospitals to have me harmed by lying to the hospitals, by omitting information the same as they did in court. What I needed was for a friend or family member, every time that the police try to do something inappropriate, like change the subject or pawn us off on someone else. No, these are criminal acts being committed against an at-risk American. An at-risk American. You get to see how women who perpetrated crimes against other women still went to those women and did the us girls gotta stick together thing. Shannon Alvarado helped Layla Johnson to get away. Helped Dan Fabric get away. Those two are fine as long as I still get to show the evidence. She also helped Ted Bollinger to get away. Rochelle Shelley Campbell to get away. Danica Michelle Garner to get away. Rose M. Kelly to get away. And Kara Johnson Miles to not only get away with committing multiple felonies over a long period of time, not only did Shannon Alvarado help Kara Johnson Miles to do that by literally never coming forward, she told me, no one else. She never once made a single phone call with me to turn in those crimes. The things that Kara Johnson Miles and the Bollinger family did for over a year before Natalie was killed. And for all of that time, after Natalie was killed. And Shannon Alvarado got to see a lot of it. But she never once, ever made any effort whatsoever to make the call with me to turn any of it in. And all of you know that it needs to be turned in right away. That's the thing that so fucking disgusted me about every goddamn one of you. I'm asking you to help me to turn the crime in right away before the predators get away with doing it and get to play victim. You could have helped me to turn it in when it happened, privately, not recorded on YouTube, not recorded on Facebook. You could have helped me to turn in any of these crimes right away and helped to get something done about it. But instead, you wanted to argue for literally years. Shannon Alvarado, Kayla Trujillo, Kara Johnson Miles, Layla Johnson, Dan Faber, Paulina Florentino, Missy Richards. These are all people who promised to help me. How I needed was for somebody to be there and present so that I'm not talked over and given the mentally ill treatment, so that it's not their word versus mine, so they never have the opportunity to blow me off the way they did. What would you do if your child was being abused? What would you do if your female friend was raped or beaten? Yeah, common sense, you dumb cunt. I'm pretty sure it's close to, if not over, 100 harassment calls just in the last 2 days. Shannon Alvarado doesn't care about turning in the crime. She cares about talking about her fucking opinions and conspiracy theories, which are based on entirely not fucking listening. Not hearing a goddamn thing I have to say. She's an addict and she acts like an addict. Plain and simple. She's addicted to alcohol. Brett Roloff, addicted to meth. Natalie Bollinger, addicted to meth and heroin. That's an upper and a downer. That'll kill you quick. Shannon Alvarado, no matter what I said, was just going to interrupt me and talk about herself. If your son was raped and all you did was repeatedly interrupt him, to talk over him, to talk about your alien fucking conspiracy theories, how about fuck all of that stuff? Ignore all of that shit in your head, Shannon Alvarado. Ignore all of that shit. What you need to be focused on is turning in the son of a bitch who stuck his dick up your son's asshole. That's how you fucking help a victim of crimes. That is the only way to help them, stupid. If your son is raped, he is entirely dependent on you. The police are more likely to hear him than they are to listen to me. And before you go saying, oh, well, it's not sexual assault. Well, you know what? Some of it was, first of all. And second of all, if your son was beaten up, would it be any fucking different? It is still a fucking heinous crime. It still needs to be turned in right away, you fucking idiot. That's why not a single goddamn one of you who promised to help me gets any more fucking sympathy or leeway. All of you know that when a crime is committed, you need to turn it in right away. All of you know that an at-risk adult, just like a child, needs someone there so they're not taken advantage of and walked over. You cannot allow it to be the predator's word versus theirs. For men, our primary predators are women and the police. A lot of people wanted to tell me their roadblocks and challenges. They wouldn't listen to mine, just kept talking over me no matter what. Shannon Alvarado is not any different. Matter of fact, she's one of the worst ones when it comes to that. I will start explaining the roadblocks that have been placed in front of me by police that prevent me from doing the things that Shannon Alvarado is asking. And she will literally ask me 30 times. 30 times in a conversation. Over and over and over again. Because she doesn't care about the abuse I'm enduring or how it affects me. She cares about talking about her fucking hot dog conspiracies. Oh, there might have been a cartel involved. There's people saying that it might have been because her dad owes money to the cartels. I got to hear that out of Mandy Hughes, too. And a lot of other people. And then I get to deal with fucking gaslighters and catfish, like Layla Johnson. A.K.A. Missy Johnson. A.K.A. Layla Doonan. I went to my friends for help, and they did what they do. If you're a male on the streets who is being abused, everyone blows you off. There isn't a single fucking person in this country, male or female, that should not already be 100% fucking fully aware of what you're supposed to do if you're fucking harmed. And there shouldn't be any of you who are so incredibly stupid to understand, hey, an at-risk adult is easy to blow off. Easy to blow off. All of you do it. I need your help preventing the police from blowing me off. Preventing them from talking over me. But how can I hope that you're going to do that when after fucking all these goddamn years, not a single one of you has fucking done the right thing and actually made the call right fucking now? Shannon Alvarado saw the abuse. Never once did she ever try to turn in the shit with Kara Johnson Miles. She never, ever, not once, ever tried to turn that in. Why did I break the law in August of 2018? Because I had been blown off by literally everyone who claimed that they cared and were gonna help me. Literally every single one of them procrastinated, talked over me, talked about themselves non-fucking stop, told me about their roadblocks. Well, we can work around your roadblocks, but understand I have roadblocks too. And you're not willing to listen to any of those. You say, I don't understand why you have to have somebody else call with you. Well, how about watch the videos of what happens when I go in by myself? If they treated your fucking daughter or son like that, you'd be fucking pissed. You would be fucking livid. You would fucking be on the phone with every fucking news agency. You would be on the phone with every fucking agency you possibly fucking could. If your son was in a different state and he was fucking assaulted, even by the cops, how long would it take you to fucking do something? Or would you get drunk and talk about yourself and promise that you'll do something and you'll help your son after Zanny goes to bed, and then stream at your fucking boyfriend while you're a fucking drunken lush piece of shit? Help him. And he gets there and you're busy screaming like that every fucking night. Meanwhile, he's fucking scared shitless. A lot of violence elsewhere. And then he gets to your house and sure, you're not hitting people, but you're sure as fuck showing every single other sign of fucking abuse. Verbal abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, financial abuse, financial exploitation. By not helping me to get my money back at all. And then throwing it in my face that you paid for stuff that you didn't have to fucking pay for. You could have helped me to get my proverbial fishing rod back so I could fish for myself. Instead of pretending that you're going to help me get a fishing rod and making me beg for a fish every day. Or throwing it in my face 6 months later when you haven't given me a fishing rod like you promised. What's that fishing rod? The help that she promised. To sit down with me and help me to do these things. To help me to do the paperwork and help me to turn against me. She could have done that from day one. There is only one thing I am interested in from Shannon Alvarado, and that is her making the calls with me to turn in the crimes by Kara Johnson Miles and the Bollinger family and their fucking cronies. The threats, the harassment, the fucking intimidation. And Shannon Alvarado saw a lot. But her opinions don't matter. The evidence that she was a part of fucking verified. That is what's important. But years later, she can't remember shit. She has to ask me what she did and what she said. So she wants me to go digging through all of that stuff and listening to all of that. Well, I don't have a place to sit down and do that where I'm not looking over my fucking shoulder every goddamn place I go for some fucking meth head or cop and the potential bullshit that I'll have to deal with from them. Where I don't have to worry about some fucking Karen pretending that I might rape her because I fucking exist. Jesus goddamn Christ, Shannon Alvarado. I have literally explained to just you alone over 1,000 times this one tiny, minuscule thing that any retard in America already knows. Stop treating me like I'm a retard while you're playing fucking retarded. I have told you to go away and leave me the fuck alone. You either keep your word to help turn this in right fucking now, or you stop stalking me, stop harassing me, stop sending me messages right fucking now.